But anyway, let's get started. A few minutes late. I guess I always do a little bit of a ramble at the beginning, don't I? So, today is Kagurabachi chapter 123, I believe. 123. Let me get that up. Yeah. So I've made one of these backgrounds for One Piece as well. Makes it nice and easy when I'm trying to figure out where to cut up the VOD, cut up the recording and put it onto YouTube later. One's going to have a big red background, one's going to have a big yellow background. Makes it nice and easy. But yeah, Kagurabachi, chapter 123. We don't get the title yet, which usually means we're going to get a cool reveal. The Enchanted Blade Plan by Shinsaku Hasumi. March 21st, 3 a.m. Meeting of experts regarding the Enchanted Blade Plan. In conclusion, based on our analysis, we believe that in theory, the enchanted blade possessed by Master Urita could be realized. Did I say possessed? Proposed. It all hinges on the ability to create a vein of ore in the katana. This enables the blade to be charged with spirit energy like a battery, allowing the wielder to command enormous quantities of energy. However, there is one major barrier. The Datenseki is an iron ore. Why am I reading on my phone? Obviously, I don't know why. I think I've been thrown off my my whole schedule, but I think usually I just read it on my laptop, and that way I can look at camera, and that feels a little bit more conversational. So, don't know why I got it up on my phone. Let's get it up here. I knew something was wrong. I was like, why does this feel weird? Of course, it's not how I've been doing it. Okay, let's get back into chapter 123. Also on a bigger screen makes it a little bit easier. However, there is one major barrier. The Datenseki is an iron ore. Before it can be forged into a katana, it must first be refined into steel. But the Datenseki is heat reactive. When its temperature is raised beyond 1000 degrees, it amplifies the fire and triggers an explosion of unfathomable magnitude. No matter how you run the math, people will die. And supposedly, the swordsmith by the name of Kunishige Rokuhira claims he alone can do this. His explanation is extremely vague, but it's worth a try. Based on what? He was able to infer everything we discovered in our top secret experiments merely by looking at it. He has an unusual eye. A guy who works at the Sorcery Bureau brought him here completely unauthorized. You could have tipped him off in advance. But why would we do that? Good question. And this swordsmith, apparently he's very young with minimal qualifications. Hardly any track record. We're just going on Master Urita's recommendation. He's only sold 3 katana. But that's why we're advocating for just one experiment to give him a chance to prove his claims. Just one experiment? Hasumi, be rational. With the Datenseki, a single mishap could spell a tremendous calamity. We have only a tiny amount we managed to extract from Irishima, and you're suggesting that we entrust that asset and the fate of our nation to some 2-bit swordsmith? We saw Mashiro's corpse. No wonder he's frantic. Oh, he saw Mashiro's corpse. No wonder he's frantic. We received a response from the Kagari clan. Flamebone of the Starving, the mystical weapon proposed to counter the Mikaboshi, belongs to the Kagari clan of fire sorcerers. Due to its immense power, very few were able to wield Flamebone. The wife of the patriarch will give birth in 6 months. Apparently, she suffered burns to her stomach due to her pregnancy. Normally, it's impossible for a member of a Kagari clan to sustain burns based on their physical makeup. This child will be the first Flamebone wielder in 400 years. We already have a name. Hiyuki. Oh. I assume that's written with the kanji for fire and snow. Yeah, 3 months after birth, they can begin test runs, after which various fine-tuning will be required, so that Flamebone can be wielded a year from now. In other words, if we wait 1 year, we have a chance at victory. It's a much more realistic plan for this enchanted blade business. Realistic? To wait a year? They'll invade before then. We have to buy time. Chapter 123, Chiaki. Okay. Chiaki, hold these, please. Okay. The previous princess came into the role around the time I was born. Chiaki? And she's, I guess some attendant to that princess. Once, when I was little, she taught me how to make tea. She was a beautiful woman. The day the power of a prophecy came to me is etched clearly in my memory. For one thing, I'd never seen my mother so frantic, since it was the first time in history it showed up in a minor offshoot of the family. But also, it was the last time I touched Kunishige. Wow, he really looks like Chihiro there. Aww. Oh, that's cute. I was outside that day when I suddenly lost consciousness. Kunishige carried me home. Apparently, my mother gave him a good scolding. Kunishige was part of a gang of neighborhood kids I used to play with when I didn't have chores. We see Sogo, Kunishige, and So-chan playing in the trees. A bunch of dumb kids doing dumb stuff together. You can't play with those kids anymore. Starting today, you represent our system of order. You have a very important job protecting our society. You were chosen by fate. It's a tremendous honor. I was hardly allowed outside anymore, and I wasn't allowed to hang out with some nobody guy. Who's calling some nobody guy? Kunishige. Oh. You know what? For a second, I thought it was a text. Of course not. Of course, she's writing it down. Terrible handwriting. Oh, wait, no, I guess it's a letter between. Yeah, okay, it's Shiba exchanging letters between them. Back then, I still had vague hopes that somehow, one day, let me see another letter. It was one of my attendants who told me. Told on me. Oh, she's getting reprimanded for her letters. We're already a minor offshoot of the main family. How many times have I told you how important it is to have impeccable manners? For now, I managed to convince them that some random stranger was sending them without your consent, Chiaki, but it can't happen again. Maintaining order requires that all sorcerer clans follow unwritten rules. They're allowed to practice their activities at a certain level, as long as they're discreet and cause no disturbance to the general public. If even one clan violates that understanding and oversteps the limitations, it will be revealed in a prophecy. It will be revealed in a prophecy as disturbance to the nation. Even if one clan violates that understanding and oversteps the limitations, it will be revealed in a prophecy as a disturbance to the nation. Okay. If the Soga princess names them, they must answer to the sword of justice. Her prophecies could even determine the survival of a clan. The Soga princess, still narration. The Soga princess can't behave like an individual. Any mistrust could cause the whole system to collapse. Don't you ever forget who you are. You're responsible for the course of history. I understood the logic, but after that incident, I had a vision. A crumbling house. If I didn't take my role seriously, this would be the consequence. More than anything, I was terrified of putting Kunishige in danger, and she sees burning. Oh no, she doesn't see burning. They're burning the letters. If this is my role till my dying day, at the very least. And she's in the same little bit of a parallel here. Just jumping back to have a look. Yeah, she looks exactly like the princess she grew up with. And of course, there's a little girl looking at her. If I can protect you. And of course, she sees a lot of people she didn't protect. March 20th. If only I'd warned them better. Maybe this wouldn't have... You gave them the strongest warning possible. They made their own choices. This isn't your fault. The enemy is demanding my surrender, and I remember exactly what panel this is calling back to. We shall not repeat that. If that means avoiding the worst-case scenario, I don't mind. Don't be ridiculous. You're the most important. I can't light anymore. I'm not important. I've forgotten that warmth. The me that is Princess Soga isn't important to me. That's a beautiful line. The me that is Princess Soga isn't important to me. I really like that line. March 24th, the Enchanted Blade plan proposed by Shinsaku Hasumi is rejected. The Sorcery Bureau conditionally accepts the Mikaboshi's demands. They agree to surrender Princess Chiaki Soga. I mean, we know everything that's just sort of been read in that panel ends up being... That's not what they stick with. I mean, I guess we don't know what happened with Chiaki, but I think it's fair to... we see a panel of Chihiro here. It's not Chihiro. We see a panel of Kunishige here who looks very much like Chihiro. So I don't think there's even some worst-case scenario, going into One Piece later, if anyone's read the Kuma flashback, maybe your mind might be in the same place as mine as a worst-case scenario here. But no, obviously, things don't go this way. The plan happens. Chiaki doesn't get taken away and forced to bear the child of Celestial Dragon. Cough, Mikaboshi. That was the worst fake cough I've done in my life. Conditionally, a 1-year truce. She will bear my child. Well, that's extremely convenient for the Mikaboshi. But she's from a minor branch of the family. Oh, sorry, I forgot it's this guy. She's from a minor branch of the family. And there hasn't been an official announcement. But 6 months ago, a baby girl was born to the Soga clan's direct lineage. Even if Princess Chiaki has a baby, the power of the prophecy will pass to the child descended from the core bloodlines. In other words, either way, the Soga clan will return the prophecy, will retain the power of prophecy that signifies our system of order. Does that make it okay to force Chiaki to bear the child of the Mikaboshi king? I was against it. Wait just 1 minute. What makes you so sure that Chiaki's child won't inherit her power? After all, it never showed up in a minor branch before, right? Never, officially. In the Soga clan, the primary bloodline reigns supreme. Many deem it improper for power to be relegated to a minor branch as it is now. Nobody says it out loud, but they've been waiting for this opportunity. Are you saying this actually suits the Soga clan's agenda? Not to mention the Sorcery Bureau, which benefits from the Soga clan's allegiance. Not to mention the Sorcery Bureau, which benefits from the Soga clan's allegiance. That's why this decision, most importantly, she agreed to it. The Hiroshima incident was extremely upsetting for her, taking advantage of her vulnerability. A year from now, if we command Flamebone, our chances improve dramatically. But if they invade us now, all is lost. Compared to the hopeless situation we're in now, we have no other choice. And we see a letter from Chiaki, and something about wanting to see you again, and Kunishige looks very serious, of course. Well, I'm really excited to see how this goes. I'm going to guess the next few chapters are going to be about actually making the enchanted blades and finding the wielders. But, I'm very excited to see the start of this war. Technically, I'm imagining that our heroes of the war are going to be the ones breaking the truce, which definitely adds to the moral grayness of what's going on here, and the war, and Soga, and everything. So, yeah. Okay, I don't think I have much to say about this. There's a hell of a lot of exposition here, and I like the Chiaki development. I mean, the chapter was called Chiaki, seeing more about her history with Kunishige. Um, yeah, a good chapter. I mean, a lot of it. See, the issue with this flashback is that a lot of it is just moving pieces into where we know they're going to be. I think maybe this is what I said 2 weeks ago. I definitely appreciate it. I don't know if I have that much to say about it. But yeah, I do really like these sweet moments of Chiaki and Kunishige, and definitely exciting to see all this. What is this full potential of Flamebone? Obviously we're going to see that eventually in the modern day with Hiyuki. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So before going into One Piece, I guess I'll try